As we all know too well, what we put in our belly has a huge impact on our health, vitality, length and quality of life. You really are what you eat, and it's the same for your Labrador. But all animals are different and have their own very specific nutritional requirements. You can't just feed your puppy the same food you eat. Also, animals have different nutritional requirements at different stages of life, and it's particularly important to get it right for the young. They have to strike a fine balance between getting enough nutrients to grow and avoiding an overabundance that can lead to abnormal growth and disabling conditions. Most people are aware that a lack of nutrition can lead to stunted growth and musculoskeletal abnormalities, but not everybody is aware that too much of certain things can have the same devastating effects. In this video you will learn precisely how to feed your puppy. Before we move on with this video, you need to grab the free Dog Training Secrets Guide, in which I have disclosed the deepest dog training secrets that professional dog trainers don't want you to know about. These training secrets would help you have a well-behaved, super intelligent, smart and obedient dog without spending hours in training him/her. Link to the free Secret Training Technique guide is in the description below. What to feed a Labrador? What can puppies eat? With a bewildering choice of different puppy foods available, what to feed your puppy may not be the easiest decision to make. Wet, complete puppy foods are an option. As the name suggests, complete wet food is complete and balanced, meaning nothing should be fed in combination. Everything needed is included in this one food. Many people remember the days of feeding tinned meat mixed with biscuit and assume complete wet food to be the same. But you mustn't mix it with anything or you'll upset the nutritional balance and likely overfeed your puppy. Complete wet foods come in individual pouches or tins, with one pouch or tin containing one single serving. Some dogs, described as fussy eaters, often much prefer the real meaty flavor of wet food, although whether a dog is actually fussy or simply too highly fussed over is another story. You should also be aware that wet food works out to be relatively expensive compared to kibble and isn't as good for a dog's dental health. Tinned meat and biscuit mixer. I'm referring to the cheap tins of food such as Pedigree, Chum and Winalot that you see on the supermarket shelves. In the main, these foods are low in nutrition, contain a high amount of cheap fillers, byproducts and water, and need mixing with a biscuit to give them some substance and to make them more complete. Because the food is such low quality, you have to feed a lot of it. And what goes in, must come out. So this way of feeding leads to a lot of waste, can make your dog gaseous and smelly, and really doesn't help during house training with the frequency they have to eliminate. Raw food, barf and homemade diets. Raw feeding is a diet that consists of mostly raw meat, edible bones and animal organs, though most practitioners also mix in small portions of fruit, veg and selected other foodstuffs. Sometimes described as the barf diet, biologically appropriate raw food, the aim is to closely match what a dog would have eaten naturally in the wild. There are many people feel strongly that this is the best possible way to feed a dog. They may well be right, and I simply don't have enough knowledge on the subject to say. But I would caution most people that to feed this diet successfully, you need to do a lot of research, gain a lot of knowledge and truly understand a dog's nutritional needs to make sure they get exactly what they need in the right amounts. This is particularly important during a puppy's periods of high growth. How much to feed a lab puppy? Puppies grow at different rates, some are more active than others, and there can be large differences between metabolisms too. The biggest determining factor is how concentrated the nutrients and calories are in the brand of food you feed them. High-quality foods are nutrient-rich and give a puppy all they need from quite small amounts of food. But cheaper brands are full of low-quality and nutritionally empty fillers that mean a puppy needs considerably more to get what they need. Start by feeding your puppy according to the guidelines on the label of the puppy food you buy for them. Then see how their body develops. Puppies should not be fat. When they're as young as just 12 weeks, they should already have a definite waist, and if they are looking overweight, cut down slightly on how much you feed them. But at the other end of the scale, if they start to look and feel a little slim, up their portion sizes a little. The guidelines on the food you buy are just that, guidelines. They aren't to be followed strictly, they're a starting point, and you should feed more or less if your puppy starts to get fat or thin if you're to keep them in the best condition. How often to feed a puppy? How many times to feed a puppy each day? Feeding a puppy too much food in one go is a common cause of tummy upset and diarrhea. To avoid this, you must split their daily intake into a few smaller meals spread throughout the day. This makes each meal easier to digest. Your puppy gets more goodness from each meal and keeps their digestive system running smoothly, while ensuring a steady and stable flow of energy throughout the day instead of peaks and troughs. For large breed puppies, the advice is for under 3 months feed them 4 times each day, for 3 to 6 months old, feed them 3 times each day, and at 6 months and older you can feed them just twice each day. You should space these meals out evenly, 3 hours apart for 4 meals, 4 hours apart for 3 meals and 6 to 7 hours apart for 2 meals. Avoid feeding your puppy in the 3 hours leading up to bedtime so they don't feel the need to potty during the night, waking you up to do so. If your puppy regularly has soft stools or diarrhea, feeding them a higher number of smaller meals instead of fewer large meals can sometimes help. Certainly give it a try. Don't leave your puppy's food down all day. Some people put a meal out for their puppy and then leave the bowl down all day until it's time to add the next meal. In the meantime, their puppy is able to just pick at their food as and when they wish throughout the day. This can make house training difficult because a puppy that eats at random times will poop at random times. Whereas if they eat the same times every day, they will poop the same times every day, and you can make sure they're at their toilet spot. So it's a good idea to feed your puppy at the same times and for a fixed time only each day. Decide on their meal times, and when you give them their food, allow 10 to 15 minutes for them to eat it and then take the bowl away. What they've not eaten they simply miss out on. This teaches them to eat up what they need instead of trying to being picky and choosy, while keeping their bodies regular and making house training a little easier. Do you want to have a well-behaved, obedient and calm pet dog without spending hours in training him? Check out the first link in the description and download the Secret Training Technique guide absolutely free. It is available for free only for a limited period of time. Thanks for watching the video. Comment below if you liked the video. Please subscribe to the Little Paws Training channel if you are serious about training and grooming your dog. Also, join our Facebook group where you get all the solutions to your daily doggy problems.